All right, what I'm about to say, I mean, don't actually believe it. Don't actually try it. I mean, don't go out and be like, oh, Doug on the internet said this and this and this, I'll be just fine. No, you know, people say I'm smart. I don't really see myself as smart. I see myself as better at regurgitating information, you know, which it seems like all those high school tests was preparing me to do. You know, just absorb information and then spew it back out. But anyway, what I'm talking about is, you know, because I watched a lot of Survivor Man with Les Stroud on the Discovery Channel, and recently been hooked on Dual Survival with Dave Canterbury and Cody Lendine. But basically what they all say is that, you know, survival is 90% psychology. Now, I'm not in a survival situation, but I think there are a couple lessons here to be had. And the first thing you do is, if you figure out that you're lost, is don't panic. So if you panic, you can't think, and you may wander around more and just get more lost. Basically what you need to do is you need to stop and think, and that's what I did. You know, because this area is nice and open, you want to get to like a high vantage point to get your bearings about where you are. I was trying to find a tree to climb so that I'd have that high vantage point, but you know, because I'm all alone, I couldn't really reach the first branch unless I had someone here to help me. But another thing you can do to help is try and find landmarks, certain landmarks, like this cliff right here. Very distinct looking. You can see it's got kind of the landslide nature on the bottom, and then these outcrops, these very sort of rough outcrops of a shale type rock. You know, as you go along the trail, looking at such landmarks can help you get back. If you're retracing your steps and be like, you know, hey, there's that thing we passed earlier. You know, it'll tell you you're on the right way. And I've also had it a bit easy because I've been following a creek the whole time. And, you know, again, you know, I think they should just have some more of those like little trail markers in these areas where it's very easy to lose, you know, the trail where it gets all rocky and you can't really, you know, because regular trails are so easy to spot because, you know, it's basically a path through the vegetation where nothing's growing in it. You know, it's really easy to follow, but not so much here in the, you know, in the stream beds and creekside. It's like I said, just all the rocks. So, yeah, so don't worry about me. I'll find my way back, you know. All right, I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, just, another example of landmark. I know that I'm going in the right direction back because of this rock here. Very distinctive looking rock. I don't know if it's some kind of like old breccia flow or some kind of other conglomerate. But basically, point is, I recognize it, you know, as something that I passed on the way up. So that the fact that I'm seeing it again means that I'm going in the right direction. Alright, as you can see, I've managed to make my way back to the established trail, and see what I mean? It's really obvious that it's a trail, but I mean, if you know, go along this way, you can see it just sort of just ends. It sort of just peters out at the creek. They really need to mark these trails. I mean, I tried getting information from them. You know, I sent a letter requesting information like maps and stuff from the you know, Forest Service. You know, there was like a headquarters in Santa Barbara, and like I said, I mailed it to them, but they never wrote back. I mean, not only did they just not, you know, like send me anything, they didn't even say, oh, sorry, we can't do that, or blah, blah, blah. I mean, just nothing. They were completely silent about it. You know, I managed to find a map on the internet, and, well, you should always be careful about buying stuff on the internet, especially maps, but, I mean, this is a detailed map, and it did help me a bit, at least get a general sense of where I was. You know, as like I said, you know, don't panic. You know, sit down and try to think, and that's what I did. Is I sit down and I pulled out my map, which is obviously always something you should have on you when you're out hiking, especially in a wilderness area. But yeah, pretty much, I looked at it, you know, kind of had an idea that where I was, but you know, just again, no information, you know, that I was able to get, and looking up on the internet isn't terribly helpful either. I mean, yeah, there were some hiking guides, but they didn't detail much. And, you know, that's basically it for the moment. I guess now that I'm sort of back on course, I can talk a little bit more about this place. Alright, you can see all these kind of burned up trees called snags that are just about. It's like, why is that? I mean, this area is obviously green, lively, thriving. Well, so remember, we're up in the chaparral habitat. And chaparral, believe it or not, actually relies on fire as part of its cycle. Basically, you know, everyone's like, oh, forest fires are so bad. And yeah, we should try and prevent as many as possible, but there just becomes a time when chaparral has to burn because it becomes so thick and overgrown, choked with vegetation. And plus, many chaparral plants, you know, their seeds are encased, you know, in seed pods that are waxy. They're covered with a wax that keeps them sealed shut, you know, to like retain moisture or something like that. And then the plants rely on the heat of a fire to melt that wax, open up the seed pod so that they can disperse their seeds. And then all in the aftermath, all that ash from the burning plant material, you know, actually fertilizes the soil. And that's not to say that we should just go out and, you know, burn chaparral willy-nilly, but that is something to remember, you know, because I mean, a friend of mine, she used to live up in kind of in the foothills of Santa Barbara, kind of up in that area, and her house barely escaped the Jesucita fire. And you know, that was that big catastrophic wildfire. And the guy she was with at the time told me that, you know, he told me that it'd been like since the 70s or 80s since that area had last burned. And that's something you always have to remember, is it's like if you're living in an area that's long overdue for a fire, expect one, because you know that the ecosystem is expecting it. It thrives on it. Boy, is that a welcome sight. You know, again, the concept of like landmarks or stuff you can very easily recognize like this, and you know, just following the trail actually leads you. It is, you know, just like the one in Lost Valleys. You know, you can see there's a fire pit, picnic table, nice little level area, except, you know, this one even has a crapper. You know, how nice is that? You know, the one thing you don't have to do while in the wilderness is shit in it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Alright, where the hell are these? You know, further up the trail. See? Right by a creek. There's obviously, you know, breaks in the trail. And here it is right there. Where the hell are these up trail? I mean, god damn. It looks simple enough to produce, simple enough to install. I mean, seriously, has their budget been cut that bad? Goddamn politicians. Just want to give you a quick look around. This is late spring, early summer, you know, on the eve of summer, and you can see that the wildflowers are still out in force. You know, everywhere you can see, you know, yellow, gold, white, maybe some splashes of purple. Yep. Alright, back here at Lost Valley Campground at the near the mouth of the trail. And, you know, so obviously, yeah, I got out okay. You know, I found the main trail and just followed it back. But, you know, just something I wanted to show you real quick, you know, because it is, you know, late spring or on the eve of summer. Always pack plenty of water. When you go hiking, you know, no matter if it's, you know, especially when it's hot, pack lots of water. As you can see, you know, I got this totally full, I got this totally full. I've gone through these two, And, you know, in fact, this is actually a bit superfluous. As you see, I got this pouch that I, you know, added on to my pack. And that's basically so that I just have extra water than what I think I'm going to be using. You should always take extra water, especially if you get lost. You know, that'll come in real handy. And my camera's telling me that I'm running out of space on my memory card. So, you know, that was the San Rafael Wilderness. You know, I'd come here hoping to see some, you know, Native American rock art, because that's what a sign at the trailhead says, but a guy I passed by says that's like 13 miles in, so I don't know, maybe someday I'll dig my backpack out of the attic, come spend some time out here, some real time, and hopefully find them then. Alright, till next time, thanks for watching.